Welcome back to Sports Talk. Today we got another college basketball video. Um, we got a lot of things to talk about this week. There's a lot of games, a lot of movement. So let's get into it. We got a new number one team. Purdue's moving up to number one. Um, they're one of the two only undefeated teams left. Yeah, they haven't. I mean, they haven't lost. They have some good wins. I think they deserve number one. Number two, I got Houston, just moving up one. Kansas also moving up one. UConn dropping down three. They lost to Xavier. It wasn't they. I mean, they didn't play bad. Um, they did end up losing by 10, but this game was a lot closer than the final score. Um, like is gonna show. With about 2 minutes left, Xavier started to pull away. And I mean, Xavier's one of the high climbers. We got a lot of like high climbers and big fallers this week. Not this tier though, or well, not these four. Um, Arizona's not moving. They keep on winning. They just beat Arizona State. That was a good win. Texas, even without Chris Beard, um, they've been looking pretty good. They keep winning. They just beat Oklahoma by one, so kind of a closer game. Oklahoma's not a bad team though. Alabama and Tennessee, I did swap them. I know that my top eight is the exact same as the A people, but I got some differences. I swapped them because Alabama had a good win over Mississippi State that they impressed me, and then Tennessee had kind of a struggle game against Ole Miss. I just swapped the two. It's not like that big of a deal. Um, but yeah, the top eight is the same as the A people, but we're gonna have some differences. Trust me. UCLA at 9. 13-2. They've been looking great. Uh, they keep. I mean, they have some pretty good wins. They just beat Washington State, a close game. And they blew out Washington yesterday. So they've been looking good. Gonzaga, even with their three losses, they've been looking. I mean, they're Gonzaga, so they score a lot of points. Yeah, but they've been looking good though. Miami, team that's really impressed me. I was thinking about putting them even higher than this. I decided to keep them here though. Miami just keeps on winning. They're like a running gun team. Off their offense is very high powered. They just beat Virginia not too long ago. Speaking of Virginia, we have Virginia at 12. Um, they lost to Houston and Miami, but I mean, I don't know. They have a good. Okay, Virginia has some good wins. They beat Baylor. They beat Illinois. They beat Michigan. Um, but as of late, Virginia's been looking a little shaky. I don't know. They had close games with Florida State and James Madison, and they lost to Houston and Miami. I still do think they're a good team, though. Arkansas, they did just lose to LSU. That was a tough game. They didn't look all that good in that game, to be honest. I'm a little worried for Arkansas. They really only played um, three good teams. They beat San Diego State. I mean Creighton. I think Creighton's a good team, but they've been looking not great as of lately. They're hoping to get the tournament. I don't even know if they can do that with their record right now, but um, Arkansas, yeah, they really haven't played anyone. Their only good win is San Diego State. The rest they haven't played anyone. So I'm a little concerned for Arkansas. Wisconsin at 14. Um, I feel like nobody talks about Wisconsin. They've been just They just keep on winning. Yeah. Indiana. I don't know if Indiana's all that great. I mean, they're only they have they beat Xavier and North Carolina. Speaking of Xavier, they're right here. I was gonna put Xavier higher, but um, since Indiana beat Xavier, I decided to keep them ahead of them. Speaking of Xavier, they just beat UConn. They they started out the year. Hold on. They started out 3-0. They lost to Indiana 3-1, 4-1. Okay, they started out the year 4-3. They're on an 8-game win streak right now. They have in that 8-game stretch, they have wins over West Virginia, um, Seton Hall. I mean, I don't know if they're all that great, but 8-7. Eh. Um, St. John's. I think they have a good record. Yeah, St. John's is 11-4, and then they just beat UConn. They've been really impressive, so I moved them up 6. Um, Duke moving up 1. They just same with them and TCU both just moving up since people ahead of them moved down. Um, Missouri moving up 13 spots. They've been really impressing me. Um, as of recently, they just beat Illinois. So I was like, okay, I put them at 32 in the top 40. And then they just beat Kentucky by 14. Um, they've been really impressive. This is really the first, unless you count Xavier as like the high climbers or high fallers this week. But trust me, there's more. Auburn staying the same. I don't know what to think about them. I kind of want to see them play a real team. Um, it seems like all the good teams they've played, USC and Memphis, those are their 2 losses. Those are really the only good teams they've played this year. They play Arkansas coming up Saturday, so we'll see. They are at home, so if they get that win, that will be good for them. I could see them winning it. New Mexico's the other undefeated team. They haven't played anyone, but they are undefeated. Charleston's only loss is to North Carolina. They just keep on winning. Like I said this all year. I could see them finishing with 1 loss. They don't play a single good team. This the rest of the year. Iowa State at 23. They just blew out Baylor. Baylor's been looking a little like I don't know. They have not been playing good. They have a pretty tough game coming up against TCU. They are at home, and then they play Kansas State Saturday. Uh, Baylor has a hard month in January. They play TCU, Kansas State, West Virginia, 3 teams in the top 40. Oklahoma State's not, but they're not a bad team. Texas Tech, a team in the top 40. Oklahoma's a good team. They're not in the top 40, but they are a good team. And then to finish out the month of January, they have Kansas, Arkansas, and Texas. So a tough month for Baylor. We'll see how they do. They've not been playing good as recently. Kansas State just got blown out by Alabama in football, but basketball they just beat West Virginia. Or wait, was it West Virginia? Yeah, in overtime they beat them. That was a good win for them. They impressed me in that game. Ohio State. We're not going to talk about their football, but um, they. I mean, they just keep on winning. They play Purdue on Thursday at home, so I don't know. Cause for concern for Purdue. We'll see. Purdue's a little. I don't know. I don't know what to think about Purdue. I know they're number 1, but like still. LSU at 27. They just had a good win. They just beat Arkansas. That was a good win for them. Kentucky just lost to Missouri. They blew them out. So they. Yeah. So you can see the high climbers. Kansas State and LSU moving up 15 and 14 respectively, and then Kentucky moving down 11. Same with the last. I think Baylor was down 12 or something. Mississippi State going down 8. They just lost again. I forgot who it was, but uh, they lost to Alabama by 11. Illinois they didn't really do anything to deserve to move down the one. I just kind of did it for like, I just had to for like the rankings. Um, San Diego State keeps on winning. Same with Providence. They've been playing good ball as of late. Marquette is a very good offense when they can score the ball. Um, I was gonna put them at 32. I almost did what I usually do and not like pay attention. I almost put Marquette at 32 and Providence 33, but I remembered they just played and Providence won, so I switched them. Memphis moving down 7. I think they just lost to South Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, they beat South Florida. They lost to Tulane though. So they can score though. They have a pretty good offense. They score a lot of points. Most of their games, they score like 80 or 90 points a game. So um, I think they'll make the tournament though. They could be a bubble team. I feel like they're a bubble team every year. West Virginia just lost to Kansas State. Finally got into the top 25 and then just right back out, going down 12. And then Texas Tech, I think they just beat Oklahoma. No, no, they didn't. They Okay, so they played against TCU on the road. That was a close game. That was a good game. I didn't fault them for that. They did lose, but I didn't like. They played good at that game, so I didn't fault them for that or anything. Michigan State. I don't think they played. They played Buffalo and they won. Okay, so I didn't move them. Wake Forest, they've been getting good wins. They have some pretty good wins on the season, so I put them in the top 40. Um, they just beat Virginia Tech, so that was kind of the booster. They also just beat Duke a little bit ago. So yeah, I mean they have some tough losses. They lost to Rutgers, LSU, Clemson, and what is this? What is LMU? I don't know, but they lost to LMU. I don't know what that stands for. Um, but yeah, they lost to them. If they can figure it out and stop losing these bad teams, they could be scary. They have wins over Wisconsin, Duke, Virginia Tech, all good teams. They had a close loss to LSU. And speaking of Virginia Tech, they just lost to Wake Forest. What was the score of that game? 77-75, so close game. They moved down 9 though, and then UNC. Uh, they they've started off the year number 1. Uh, I mean, they're the only 5 loss team in here, so they play Wake Forest coming up, so that's interesting. But they lost to Pitt, and yeah, they just lost to Pitt, so I had to move them down. I kind of started to think maybe they were figuring things out. Um, they started out the year 5-0. Then they went on a 4-game losing streak to 5-4. Then they went on a 4-game win streak to 9-4. UNC has so much talent, but it just seems like they don't know how to play with each other. Like they're all trying to play hero ball. Um, they need to play as a team. I don't know if that's a coaching thing or what, but it would be good for them if they could figure it out because they're a scary team. As you saw last year, most of their team returned from last year. Um, but yeah, they're a scary team if they can play good. But yeah, but that's gonna be the video. We got NBA Power Rankings Wednesday with Connor. Those are always fun. Yeah, we'll see you guys Wednesday.